Don't bother looking for life here. Nothing grows. Nothing survives. This is the coldest, most desolate place on Earth. 100 million years ago.
But once, this place was paradise. Here, vast forests stretched as far as the eye could see. Giant reptiles ruled the rivers. Massive flying creatures soared through the skies. This was one of the wildest, most dangerous places on Earth. But then, it all vanished.
What happened? How did this paradise become a frozen graveyard? What ancient disaster turned this land into the coldest place on Earth? The answer is more terrifying than you think.
When you close your eyes and picture Antarctica, what do you see? Most likely an endless expanse of ice, maybe a few penguins scattered around. But if you go beyond that, trying to imagine even more, what do you get? More ice, of course. This makes sense as Antarctica holds 90% of the world's glacial ice, with some areas reaching miles or kilometers in thickness. To many, this continent has always been frozen and will presumably stay that way. However, that's not entirely true. There was a time when Antarctica not only had less ice, but was instead a land of lush forests, strange creatures, and a tragic fate, making it, in every sense, a lost world. Antarctica wasn't always isolated today. Antarctica is often called the loner of the seven continents, as it has no land connections. But long ago, it was much more connected. For millions of years, Antarctica was attached to South America and Australia, or at the very least, linked to them by land bridges, allowing animals to migrate freely. Many species traveled through Antarctica as a stepping stone between continents, including dinosaurs. Fossil discoveries have revealed that sauropod skulls found in Antarctica, South America, and Australia are nearly identical, proving that these massive creatures once roamed freely across the land. And they didn't just pass through. Many dinosaurs and other animals settled in Antarctica. During the Mesozoic era, the continent was much warmer due to its higher latitude and globally hot climate. During the Cretaceous period, the average temperature in Antarctica was 12 degrees Celsius, 53 degrees Fahrenheit, warmer than present-day Germany. Instead of the few species found today, Antarctica was home to a wide variety of dinosaurs, including theropods, ankylosaurs, hadrosaurs, and sauropods. The surrounding waters were filled with sharks and marine reptiles, while the land was covered in dense forests, thanks to the warmer, wetter climate. At one point, Earth reached its hottest period in the last 100 million years, and Antarctica was no exception. During the Eocene thermal maximum, some areas of Antarctica experienced average temperatures of 25 degrees Celsius, 77 degrees Fahrenheit, similar to modern-day Kenya. Although the continent had drifted further south since the Mesozoic, it still remained at around 60 degrees south, which allowed plant life to flourish. As Antarctica continued drifting toward the South Pole, its climate changed dramatically. The asteroid that ended the dinosaurs likely triggered huge tsunamis, firestorms, and extreme heat, devastating Antarctica. But even after the fires died down, the situation didn't improve. However, Antarctica did not freeze overnight. After the Cretaceous extinction, Earth entered an extreme warming period, the Paleocene-Eocene thermal maximum. During this time, Antarctica thrived once again, reaching even higher levels of biodiversity than during the Mesozoic. Contrary to the belief that the Cenozoic era, our current geological period, was always cold, Antarctica may have been warmer than ever before. And while the non-avian dinosaurs were gone, a terrifying predator still roamed the land. A terror bird. The terror bird, the two-legged nightmare. He was the ultimate predator, a feathered monster that sprinted across the land like a deadly ostrich on steroids. His beak was a lethal weapon, strong enough to crush bone with a single strike. He was between 2 to 3 meters, 6.5 to 10 feet tall, about the same height as an NBA player. He weighed up to 150 kilograms, 330 pounds, as heavy as a full-grown lion. He could run at speeds of 50 to 60 kilometers per hour, 31 to 37 miles per hour, almost as fast as a cheetah. A small marsupial, no bigger than a rabbit, darted through the underbrush. The terror bird's piercing eyes locked onto it. With lightning speed, he took off, his long legs covering ground effortlessly. In seconds, he reached his prey and delivered a fatal blow with his powerful beak, another meal claimed by the king of the land, the Astropotheria, the prehistoric tank. He was a strange-looking beast, a mix between an elephant, a tapir, and a rhino. His large, tusked face and flexible snout helped him grab leaves and soft plants. He was about 3 meters, 10 feet long, roughly the size of a modern-day hippopotamus. He weighed over 1,000 kilograms, 2,200 pounds, heavier than a grand piano. He fed on soft vegetation, using his trunk-like nose to reach high branches. A group of Astropotheres moved slowly through the thick forest, their massive bodies shaking the ground with each step. Nearby, a terror bird watched, but he knew better than to attack. This giant was too big, too powerful, and too well-armed. The marsupial mammals, the clever survivors. They were not the biggest creatures in Antarctica, but they were among the most adaptable. Some were small and quick, hiding from predators, while others were larger, hunting in packs. They ranged from the size of a rat to as big as a modern fox. They lived in forests and open plains, competing for food with reptiles and birds. They were among the first mammals to make Antarctica their home. A small, fox-sized marsupial crept through the undergrowth, its ears twitching at every sound. Suddenly, a giant penguin waddled past, paying no attention. The marsupial sighed in relief. It had escaped the terror bird this time. The giant crocodile, the river monster. He was an ambush predator, lurking beneath the surface of ancient rivers, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Unlike modern crocodiles, he could move faster on land, making him even deadlier. He was up to 6 meters, 20 feet long, longer than a full-sized pickup truck. He weighed over 1,000 kilograms, 2,200 pounds, as heavy as a small car. He hunted fish, mammals, and even small dinosaurs. A thirsty Astropothere stepped toward the river, unaware of the danger below. In an instant, the water exploded as the crocodile lunged. His powerful jaws clamped onto his victim's leg. The struggle was brief. Within moments, the river was calm again, except for a few ripples, the only sign of the battle that had just ended. The giant penguin, the emperor of the ocean. He was nothing like the penguins we see today. This giant ruled the Antarctic seas, using his powerful flippers to slice through the water at incredible speeds. He was up to 1.8 meters, 6 feet tall, taller than the average human. He weighed over 90 kilograms, 200 pounds, as heavy as a full-grown kangaroo. He hunted fish and squid with unmatched precision. As he dove beneath the waves, a school of fish scattered in fear. With a burst of speed, he shot forward, catching one unlucky fish in his sharp beak. Unlike today's penguins, he had no natural predators in the water until the giant sharks arrived. The early whale, the ocean's new king. He was not yet the fully aquatic giant we know today. His body was long and flexible, and he still had small, useless legs, a reminder of his land-dwelling ancestors. He was as large as a modern killer whale, around 6 to 8 meters, 20 to 26 feet long. He hunted fish, marine reptiles, and smaller creatures of the sea. He was evolving into the fully aquatic whales of the future. As he surfaced for air, the ocean around him seemed calm, but he wasn't alone. A shadow moved beneath him, a predator far bigger and far deadlier than anything he had ever faced. Autodus, the prehistoric megashark. He was the undisputed ruler of the ancient seas. Before Megalodon, he was the terror of the oceans, hunting anything that moved beneath the waves. He was over 10 meters, 33 feet long, twice the size of a great white shark. He had massive, serrated teeth, each as big as a human hand. He hunted early whales, seals, and anything else unlucky enough to cross his path. A young whale swam near the surface, unaware of the shadow moving below. In an instant, Autodus attacked. His enormous jaws clamped shut, slicing through flesh and bone. The ocean's top predator had struck again. Vegavis, the ancient duck that survived. He was small and ordinary looking, but he represented something the others did not. Survival. While giants ruled the land and sea, he thrived in quiet waters, outliving the predators around him. He was about the size of a modern duck. He lived in lakes, rivers, and coastal wetlands. He fed on fish, small invertebrates, and aquatic plants. As he paddled through the water, he barely noticed the giant creatures around him. Terror birds, giant penguins, and prehistoric crocodiles dominated the world, but his kind would outlive them all. Millions of years later, his descendants would still be swimming in lakes and rivers, long after the giants had vanished. A lost world beneath the ice. They were giants, predators, and survivors. They ruled a world that no longer exists, a land of green forests and warm seas. But their time ended. The ice came, the forest vanished, the rivers froze. But they are not forgotten. Their bones remain beneath the ice, waiting to tell the story of a time when Antarctica was alive.